Hello, hello, hi, Facebook Trooper. What's happening? What's going on? Welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. What is happening? If you're joining me live, let me know you're here. If you're catching the replay, this is a good one to get your feedback on, for sure. So you know how I start my lives? I've been doing that for ever. Um, I say, in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. And I mean that because there are some days that squeeze the heck out of you, right? And there are some even weeks or months, sometimes even years, right? That squeeze the heck out of you. So I was, you know how Facebook reminds you of the things you've posted in the past. So I watched a live from last year on this day came up, and the title was "How important is it to show up, no matter what?" Right, and kind of a coincidence that I'm doing a live about, you know, a rough day, a rough week, and then showing up and all that, right? I thought it was kind of weird. But there are going to be days and weeks that really put some pressure on you, hit you hard, squeeze the heck out of you. Um, I've had a couple of those days. I've had a few of those days recently. Today, one of those was one of those days that squeezed the heck out of me. I feel like I am drained and exhausted, mentally, physically. But here's what I got to share with you. Um, Life doesn't stop. You know, there are things that you got to do regardless. You know, um, sometimes you can have the best sob story, right? The best story of all time, the best reason and excuse and all that together. Story, reason, excuse, all that. You can have the best, but it's only your best excuse, your best reason, your best why. It's not anybody else's. See, it may be the best reason for you, but for somebody else, be like, suck it up and buttercup and just move on, right? Because it may not be a big deal to anybody else, right? What I want to share with you is that it's important to show up still. Like, this comes from the heart. Like, I really did not want to do this live. Like I said, I'm exhausted. My head was banging. I I normally don't take anything for anything, and I took a something for my pain for my headache, and but I really didn't want to do this live. Right now, if I didn't do it, it wouldn't kill anybody. Right? Nobody would come back and say, "Oh, well, maybe a few of you actually would come back and say, "Wait, what? Are you all right? What's going on?" Right? But it wouldn't hurt anybody. It's not like the world depends on this live, right? So if I didn't do it, okay, yeah, it would break the cycle, and maybe I would feel bad the next day. But the point is, it's my life. I could do it or not do it, right? But the message that I'm trying to get to everybody, and it's a motivation to myself, is that hey, rough days are gonna be there. It's not like you're never gonna have rough days, like really rough days, not just like one day, days, like weeks maybe. And it's gonna hit you hard back and forth, and it feels like you can't get in, you can't defend, you can't do anything, right? No matter what, though. No matter what, you got to keep showing up. I have to keep showing up. I have to keep doing my live, right? That's me showing up. That's me. Somebody out there may hear me and say, you know what? Thank you, because I've had a rough day and I didn't feel like getting up. Well, this live is for you, right? This is live for you, and I don't know when you find this live or when you actually get to watch it or see it or comment below when you do, right? And I just want to let you know it's okay that the day squeezes the heck out of you, right? Sometimes you, like last night, we talked about responding, reacting, and the Stoics taking that moment, right? But sometimes it's difficult to do that, right? Sometimes it's tough. But hey, it it wasn't supposed to be easy all the time. That's not how it works. That's like I've always said this before, the only people who have it really easy and no problem at all are the dead. They're dead. You're gonna have stuff, challenges. You can run away from challenges and you can here's what happens when you run away from a challenge. You run away from the challenge that's in front of you. You run away from that. But here's the point. I want you to get this. Whoever is listening to this live, I want you to really pay attention to this point. You run away from the challenge. You walk away from a tough time. You walk away from whatever that is in front of you, right? Here's what happens. You're gonna get another challenge. You're gonna face another speed bump. You're gonna encounter another issue. You walking away from an issue, you walking away from a problem doesn't keep you away from all problems, doesn't keep you away from all speed bumps. It just takes you away from that one. Maybe that'll haunt you another time, maybe it won't, but you're gonna face something else. It's not the point to run away, and not show up. The day's gonna squeeze the heck out of you, but you're gonna have to show up anyway. Because you're gonna have another day that's gonna squeeze the heck out of you. It's just gonna happen. So be prepared, right? Um, do your best to what you can. Play the cards you've been given. Practice some of the stuff we've talked about. I'm noting to myself, I gotta practice some of the stuff I talk about. And just keep showing up, no matter, even if you show up for a second, like this live, just to prepare, think about what I'm gonna say and all this stuff, because I'm gonna freestyle it, right? That maybe 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I do the live and then I post them, right? So that takes me about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes, and sometimes when I do with notes, maybe an hour and a half all together, right? But I gotta show up. I gotta do that no matter what. I've committed to that. So I gotta show up to that. And sometimes you're committed to some stuff, and I want you to face them. I want you to um, be postured in front of it. And hopefully you got some love, some maybe inspiration from this live, some value. You know, it's tough sometimes. Sometimes, like I said, life slaps you left and right, back and forth, and you can't just defend. But you know what? Eventually, you're gonna get in. You're gonna get up. You're gonna walk on. You're gonna move on. You're gonna you're gonna have great days, right? So show up in the tough days, show up in the good days, show up in the mediocre days. You know what I mean? Just, you got to keep showing up, right? Because that's what it takes. So, hopefully, I think I beat that point to death. Hopefully, you got some love, inspiration, value. Hey, you feel like sharing? Sharing is caring. Tag a couple of people, share it on your wall. Do what you gotta do. Spread the love. And I appreciate you. and until tomorrow, where we do it all over again. Much love.